Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well. It's currently 7:30 p.m. Central Time. It is Friday, 50% Friday. It honestly feels like a Sunday. Like I'm totally out of whack. For just to preference this, or I don't know. I didn't get much sleep. Like very little sleep. I'm extremely tired. So, we're probably gonna do the full hour. It's just gonna be a very, very muddled and slow full hour. But I'm super excited for today. I worked on some stuff off stream, drawing wise. But first, before we even get started there, let's warm up. Yep, like I said, I probably got maybe 4 to 5 hours of sleep just by my own choices. And man, I'm tired. It's weird because like when I'm in university, there's been nights where I've had to get 4 or 5 hours of sleep. And even sometimes several like days back to back where I get very little sleep, and yet I'm just completely knocked out today. Sorry, I'm messing with there we go, stuff off stream, but yeah, like don't know what caused it. Oh shoot, was that? Oh no, that's okay. Last stream. I thought I saw new messages by Rise. I was like, oh my gosh. Be a simple stream. We'll be working on the Kaiman drawing again. I know to the dismay of a couple that oh shoot, I still need to add Cat's suggestion, Mordecai and Gravel. I actually really like that idea a lot. That's something I would just draw for fun. But if we, I'm in a weird part, cause like I've been looking at just more artists, no one specific, but more art, I guess I should say. I guess I would place myself in a bit of an art low right now. Or like maybe it's either an indicator before the art low, or like I'm about to go into an art low, or I'm recovering from one. Because like I'm seeing all this really good art, and I acknowledge that I'm ages behind these people, and I'm just now starting to realize the effort and time that these people have taken to get to where they are, let alone knowing, the things that they know. I don't know, just like they are leagues beyond me, and so I'm wanting to put that into my own work. And I feel like this is a precursor to an art low, because despite the changes that I may want to immediately make to my artwork or such, it may not happen that way. I may not get exactly what I want. And so, this starts with me like wanting to do challenges or stuff for myself where like, okay, this piece, I do this medium or this variation of a medium. And then it doesn't turn out well. I'm like, oh shoot, I suck at art, whatever. The whole spiel that gets played out in my head. Now, more realistically, though, like one thing that I've been wanting to apply and that I want to do in this is very like it's probably the biggest foe, the biggest villain of anything I've ever drawn to this day, which is economy of line. My favorite artists of all time, except for Q, Hayashida, I believe that's how you pronounce their name, the creator of Dorohedoro, have this beautiful economy of line, and that's usually like one of my favorite. Just among all, if you combined some of my favorite artists, economy of line is always like probably the most noticeable detail that they have. And typically this results from just an amazing constructional ability where these people have a great mind's eye, and don't need all this construction. They already have such a beautiful understanding of 3D space. But two is once they place a stroke, they react to it properly on the page. So all of this to say is for this Kaiman drawing and kind of my upcoming drawings, I want to find a medium that jives well with economy of line and, singular strokes that make a huge impact to everything, right? And I want to, with this medium, really challenge myself to make as few strokes as possible, to convey as much information as possible. With as little. This is, I guess, been an issue in my entire life. Is I'm not at all a concise person. I get lost in the details all of the time. In fact, I was working on the. I'm now storyboarding for the lesson 3 video. Finished the intro, working on the first homework and critique of that. Which there's only one critique for the organic form, so it's a nice little. Find what works for me. I actually may make it like a previs or something, just to figure out like the kind of vibe and how everything will look. And just to get my head out of the storyboarding area. But anyways, I'm facing a huge issue with some of the storyboarding is I want to pack a lot of detail and information, because I feel like if I am making a video that I want to help people learn from, then I have to pack all this information into it. But then it just becomes an overabundance, or either an overabundance of information at the screen at once, or if I try to distribute it evenly throughout the video, the scope of the video gets too big, and I'm only one person. So, finding a balance between all of these things is, it is the creative process. But all of this to say is I'm not a concise person. I suck at leaving detail to be inferred. It's probably just because I'm a person who needs it. I've always been slow to learn things and stuff academically, so oh goodness. If I was ever to regurgitate or encourage people to learn the same things as me, I just assume immediately that everyone could benefit from all of this information. Which, I mean, yeah, right. When you have the entire compendium of knowledge right in front of yourself, then it's easier to learn than a professor just having a single bullet point about a major, huge topic you're expected to know in depth for an exam, right? And in that way, I would call myself a bit spiteful towards, the way I make videos is definitely in spite of professors, in seminars and things where they fail to abstract knowledge conveniently. I remember probably one of the most egregious things that actually made me very, very upset, besides my professors, or some of my worst professors who did these things. It was a TED Talk. I can't remember which one it was or what the subject was. I know it was a self-help oriented one, but the entire TED Talk, just circular logic, made no sense. It was love yourself because you can. Or it was just ridiculous, and I felt like my time was wasted. Not even just I couldn't glean anything from it at all, but my time was wasted. And I guess, yeah, that's where the heart of some of my spite for those poor professors, poor in quality, is I have to waste time because they didn't want to invest a little bit more effort in explaining something more thoroughly, or etc. This is not to say that I expect all information to be handed to me. The biggest part about university is being able to explore and investigate, quite literally gathering those resources independently. But I'm not sure if that's the best way to teach, I guess. With the amount of professors that I've had where I've just it's been almost advisable to skip their lectures because it makes it more confusing. And I would just go home and read the textbook instead of, I mean, I would show up to their lecture as well, but with how much I got from the textbooks rather than them, I'd say maybe around 40% of my university experience has just been that. I've been making these points before I draw the line, which isn't a bad habit, but you know, sometimes your lines change. So you want to save making that vertex for after you've drawn the line, so you could properly ghost the VP. My line work has improved several fold because we are not drawing on a slanted surface, which I've still yet to fully get used to. Man. Why do I keep doing cylinders with a slanted desk when my line work is so much better than a flat table? I know why. It's because I like the angle, more workspace, all that stuff, but still. Oh goodness. So much for line work. That's nice. Decent, pretty good box. Not even decent, that's pretty good. Feeling some weird distortion right here though. Yeah, man, my line work is so much better on a flat desk. Oh Jesus. Okay, is what it is. Well, except for that placement in the minor axis, that was pretty rough. I don't even need this much of a warm up. I'm just really happy with my line work today, so I'm just going with it. Cool, cool. Alrighty, so you guys know the drill. Oh, I forgot to run pre rolls. I mean, no one showed up anyway, so but still, we're gonna do BRB. We'll do 2 minutes of ads on Twitch, to the usual, and then we're gonna get to our Kaiman drawing. I actually redid it from last time. I slowed down on the construction. I felt like I was rushing it too much, all that good stuff. But yeah, so BRB for about maybe 5-ish minutes probably, and 2 minutes of ads. Cool, cool. I'm actually gonna shuffle the I found another calm mix, and it's more like I wouldn't it's called A Drifter's Refuge. So ambient astral music from and similar to Hyperlight Drifter, Fez, etc. So stuff that we have in all of the mixes so far, but um I don't know, this has a ton of music in it. I'm totally jamming with it. Yeah. So as you guys know, it is 50% Friday where we dedicate some time just to drawing for fun. And today, or for play, I should say. And today we are continuing a drawing that we've been working on for a bit. It is a drawing that Bear Mug sent on the wheel. It is Kaiman and a gyoza, and specifically the meme where the dude's like hovering pizza into his mouth. We worked on it last time, didn't get too far. Like I said, I'm still in the mix of how we decide to ink this and stuff. But without any further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty, let's go. So yeah, I have the head here. You guys can barely see anything though, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. My pen is look how tiny it is now. I've been absolutely using the most out of these non-photo blue pencils, which I just love to death. So yeah, I'm now into the part where I should be drawing the arms and hands. I'm a bit worried as to the scale of the hands. I don't think they're big enough. And honestly, when it comes to drawing hands, I like going bigger than I should. Here, we'll also bring up the reference in question. So yeah, and also a difficult part of this drawing so far has been getting the like focus, like the brow, the furrowed brow of Kaiman in there. But right now we're actually to the not gonna say easier part, but not as tough as everything else has been with the hands and face and such. Where we're just gonna be constructing the body and then the gyoza. Why do I have, oh yeah, I was talking about the eyes probably. That still makes me upset. But yeah, actually I don't have a reference. I mean, yeah, this is probably one of the most popular ones. Where's this from? Is this from, let's see, his this could be like later in the anime or the manga. Also, today I bought Dai Dark, Q Hayashida. I think that's how you pronounce it. I really need to look it up. I'm just lazy. Other manga. So super excited to get into that. If I like volume 1, I'll buy some of the other volumes as we go along. Why did I zoom into that one? There we go. So yeah, you can't really see the neck in here, which sucks. But I'm kind of like cart and horse at this moment, where I need to decide if I, when to do the body and such. But for first, we'll do the construction. And for this one, because I redrew this today from the previous version that we had, because I kind of rushed the construction stuff. Kind of got flustered doing that. As I'm trying to push myself to use more constructive techniques, because it's not like I'm learning all of this just to let it go, right? So I'm trying to use more, because I use spheres and organic forms all the time, but to use more like planar forms, box-like structures here and there. Just kind of make. You'd actually see just like the. And just I've been like crazy slow on the construction line work here. and even like cleaning up some of it, which I know is not necessary, but I feel like helps me uh, get more specific with my lines. Because I had I removed it at this point because it was in the way, but for the spherical form for the skull, I had like a very clean looking sphere that I was actually quite proud of. Gyoza will be here. There's a weird like the finger going underneath the like snout right here is a bit of an issue, but I couldn't find a better way of kind of saying like, hey, there are fingers on this side. I'm hoping I could just place the teeth to where it'll help it make sense or do something with it, but we'll see once again. I don't know why, but the arm seems short. Maybe it's just the head seems too big. Just totally possible. The hand's actually much more angled, but I'm not sure how faithful we need to be the reference anymore. Let's see, if my finger was at my temple, this is my right hand. At that angle, we'd see a relatively flatter part of the arm, but we are seeing the top of it, which we do get a bit of that, like, I don't know how to describe the muscle here. I'm not a huge fan of drawing Kaiman's actual outfit because I just suck at clothes in general. I kind of yeah. Right, let me pull it up so I don't sound like a psychopath. They were there's of course a place called Hole in Dorohedoro. That's like one of the main worlds, I guess you could say. And they were trying to disguise as residents of it, so they have a shirt that says "I Heart Hole," and I think that's awesome. And huge. We have a Quantum Circe stream on this Sunday, so stay tuned for anybody who's watching. definitely feel like his head's too big. But I'm not redoing anything at this point. I know that's bad, but definitely one thing that'll help though is moving the shoulder and arms back a little bit. Oh goodness. Just knocked over like half of my containers from my drawing supplies. That was not too wise. Next time, I should probably start constructing it with the torso to help with scale rather than all of this. What the heck is this arm doing? Oof. It's like way too deep, I guess. I don't know. Some weird stuff happening in this drawing. And I'm not talking about the lizard gravitating Gyoza into his mouth. I don't know how to make him feel like he's furrowing his brow, like really focusing, but I'll worry about that in a little bit. Hey, what's up, Penguin? How's it going? Been a minute. Or been a minute in chat. You could have stopped by without us knowing. How's your day going so far? More importantly, how's it been? Been working on my first ever animatic. Oh, huge. How's that going so far? For Epic the Musical. Ooh. Do you plan on releasing this on YouTube or do anything special with it? I bet our Discord would absolutely love to see the progress you've made on that so far. I post on YouTube and I'll put in Whip. Huge. How much more do you have remaining? Planning to do just half the song. Oof. I have no, frame of reference for how long that song may be, but whenever I've thought of making animatics, the most daunting part isn't necessarily the animation or whatever choreography. It's just the fact that like if I want to do the entire song, it may be like 5 minutes of like animatic worthy animation. So that always seems very trying, and I can only respect you for tackling this. How did you go about this? Did you like storyboard it? Did you make like a rough animation first, or you kind of just jumping into it? Tried storyboarding first, but didn't really use them. Gotcha, gotcha. Better ones today, which I hope to follow. I guess I'll kind of do Kaiman's nose as kind of like two watermelon seeds in front of his maw. Oh, huge! I'll check that out after stream. That's where I plan to put the gyoza. I am drawing basically this image. Yeah, apologies for it being hard to see this image, but with Kaiman from the manga Dorohedoro and gyoza. Specific, I mean, it's very much going to mirror this. Obviously, I won't be able to achieve that artistic fidelity, but just something like this. So very funny, very light. This is for 50% Friday, so drawing that gyoza is gonna be pretty interesting. I don't think I've ever drawn a gyoza before. More specifically, the character in this anime, quite literally, his only motivation for everything, kind of, other than uh, finding out his identity, is gyoza. In fact, I think there's like a chart in the game, or in the game, yeah, a chart in the manga where it's like shows his like thoughts and things, and like most of his thoughts, like number one, his first priority is finding gyoza, and his other priority is like finding out his identity. I don't really know how to emphasize that this thing is hovering into his mouth, other than maybe like a couple of like sparkles. That's still a very big box. I should probably. Hmm. I think for the gyoza, especially the top of them, having this like zigzag pattern being displayed. Because this one's like pretty 2D flat to us, like profile, but these, they're pushed a little bit, so you can kind of alter that silhouette a bit. Kind of pushed it a bit too far on that one, but I think we have the right idea. Gonna head out. Cool, cool. Have a good one. Best of luck with your animations, Penguin. I'll check the Discord in a bit. Please keep us all updated. We'd love to see that. I guess I gotta do the outfit now, which I'm not particularly fond of because it's just so complex. There's a lot going on. And I just don't have a great reference either of his outfit. Nah, it's way too far. Probably a bit too deep. I want his gloves to be too big. I don't. Oh, hey, what's up, Bill? Doing pretty okay myself. I slept way too little last night, so it's been a very quiet stream. But hey, I can't really ask for more. I'm content just chilling. How about yourself? Same got home from work and crashed. Just woke up and tuned in. Heck yeah. Oh yeah, it is Friday, so happy Friday. It's quite literally 50% Friday, and I somehow forgot that it is Friday in that process. But, I'm after stream. I'm just move. Today's leg day. I don't care. I'm moving that to like. Oh man, his arms are so small. That bothers me. Or it's like no, it's like this. That's what's bothering me. Um, I completely lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, moving my leg day. Just gonna sleep after stream. Nothing much to it. I can kind of get away here with not having to draw too much of the jackets, many details and such. Ah, oh, but his head is so big. So strange. I don't even want to ink it because I know like the head is just wonky and goofy and strange. Ugh. Yeah, I think my biggest failure with the proportions here was I started with the head when I definitely probably should have started with the rib cage because then I went to do the hands and worked downwards. Um, and I think I just put the maybe it's just the arms are too small. I'm trying to see what I could do to amend it, but I'm not seeing too much. This is looking a bit more Kaiman-esque now, but still not particularly impressed with it. Maybe it's because this arm is too small in perspective. It needs to be larger on the page. I'm not sure if that helped or not. Let's do some of the teeth. Here, we're going to be right back and clean this off, and then we'll get back to it. Cool, cool. And we're back. Alrighty, we'll start inking. Good to play the game of guessing which one of my big pins is dry. No, both of them are doing good ink, so maybe I'm tripping. We'll start with the box of gyoza, and then we'll see how I'm feeling. If we want to keep inking or stuff, because I feel like whenever I start inking something, starting with like the least consequential thing in the scene is helpful for me. All this gyoza is making me hungry now. That's the thing. I want to like gyoza way more than I do because like conceptually then again I've only had like crappy gyoza. Like I've never gone to like a notably true Japanese restaurant where they focus on like really good. I've only been to like, mid-range subpar Japanese places. Um but that being said, like it's meat and like vegetables and like whatever mix inside of, I don't even know what to call it, right? But like my brain's trying to say dough, but you know what I mean. But like whenever I've had them, they're just like way too greasy, which disappoints me. Um but I'll always love gyoza. I think gyoza will always love me. You can't go wrong. If someone's like, "Hey, I'm also ordering gyoza for the table," you're like, "Oh, heck yeah, man. Thank you." You'll never catch me hating on gyoza. Greasy dumplings suck, but in the tri-state, there's a lot of Asian cuisine around. Huge. Man, I got ruined, or not ruined by Phineas and Ferb, but like anytime I hear the word tri-state, I instantly think of that show. Really messed up box, but who cares? Ironic, right? And you know what? Like I said, I'll draw the gyoza right here, and then we're gonna call it for the night. Also, I don't know why I say gyoza weird because like I just like saying it. Gyoza, gyoza. It's fun. I kind of messed it up, but as we know, adding more lines won't fix that, so we'll call it there. A box of gyoza and a floating gyoza with sparkles. Thank you. Cool. So, like I said, yeah, we're gonna wrap it up there. Very tired. That's why we're ending a couple minutes earlier than usual. But yeah, so once again, on a whole nother week of cylinders. I don't sound too excited about it, but trust me, I'm so excited to be drawing so many more cylinders. But it'll be over. The prospect of lesson 6 is really inspiring me. The lesson 3, 4, and 5 videos are a lot of effort. I'm kind of just reducing the scope now just to lesson 3's video. But I'm like, oh yeah, let's do a review. Yeah, push all that stuff away. We're gonna do a review of our work. Overdid the line work a little bit right here. Less is more, but I think I stopped myself at the right time. I didn't consider the depth of the box when drawing my gyoza. So when I was doing the construction, I should have drawn the gyoza at the bottom of the box. I hate drawing through things because it just gets cluttered. It's not too much conceptually harder, unless it's like super crowded. But yeah, so I should have drawn that. But other than that, pretty happy with it so far. So, yeah, lesson 3, 4, and 5 videos. I'm telling myself I'm only making lesson 3, but in reality, I'm making a lot. And also, I'm just tired, so I was like more prone to being anxious about all the video stuff today. But anyways, cool. So, once again, thank you all very much for joining me tonight. Thank you, Bill and Penguin. Same schedule this week, so nothing too special. And I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow, right? Yeah, Saturday. Okay, bye-bye. Oh, actually, my thing's like bye for now, right? Yeah, bye for now. Okay. Thank you, Bill. See ya.